again, when you tell stories, it helps you build a deeper connection. I believe, and I strongly believe this in 2022, as we're recording this, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as an executive, you no longer have the option whether or not you tell stories. It is imperative to tell stories because not only is it used in every part of your business, but it's the only thing that someone can't duplicate or take away from you. It's
Now
the power of stories.
that is a great point. I think to really underline that, that is the one thing.
It's the one thing.
You can't take my story. I can't take your story because A, it's not going to sound authentic.
Not
but
at all.
B, you know it's not.
Not at all. And that it is like there's competitors out there, they can copy what you do, but your story, it's the one unique thing that you not only have control over, but it's yours. You own it. You own it.
And so is that and the reason for that, and the reason you're saying that is because the consumer or even the business to business buyer is a lot more savvy. They've got their radars going, waiting for the BS story.
Exactly. I call it the BS meter. Yeah. I think, people nowadays are very skeptical now more than ever because of social media, because of the news, just because of the climate and societies we live in today. People are skeptical now more than ever, and is why I have committed my life to the last 15 years to visual storytelling, or what I call dramatic demonstration of proof, because seeing is believing. That's a very easy way to put it. Seeing is believing. But the other way I like to put it is hearing something said 1,000 times is not as powerful as seeing it once. Right. And so I think that's the importance of it, right? Like that's the importance of not only just telling your story, but showing your story so that other people will believe. And belief is the currency I live by. Right. It's the belief I live by, because again, when you tell your story, now I believe it. And when I believe it, it becomes fact in my mind. And that is why I think in this day and age, with how skeptical people are and their BS meters are up, just be authentically you. And when you do that, when you're telling your story, that's what gets people to say, I want to follow you, or I want to connect with you, or I want to continue this relationship. Like we might end this conversation today, Paul, and you say, you know what, Jude, I want to have another conversation. Or you know what, the next time you're in Canada, come by and see me, right? Like it is only because of the conversations we have, the stories that we're sharing with each other. That's why I say it's just not optional anymore. If you want to win in business, you want to grow your business, you want to take it to the next level, whether let's say you're not getting any clients today, like you're stuck, you're at a standstill, I guarantee you share your story. And that is what will open the floodgates to get people to want to connect with you it's a different way. It's no longer transactional at that point. It's transformational.
Right.
And I've seen it in my own business, over 15 years. I was one of those people who started by trying not to tell my story, but the moment I did, everything changed in my business. And so that's what I'm passionate about. That's why it's not just because of the work that I do. I just see it every single day.
Right. And you mentioned, I saw that on your website, the dramatic demonstration of proof. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that is?
Yeah, so the dramatic demonstration of proof is all about showing your story, not just telling it. And I have 5 different dramatic demonstrations that I like to illustrate. It is behind the scenes, live illustration, social proof, unique mechanism, and transformation. And I'll talk a little bit about each one just so people can understand. Behind the scenes is kind of like being a fly on the wall, getting to see something raw as it's happening. I often tell the story, it's a figurative story, but like if you and I, Paul, are at Starbucks, we're the only ones in the store outside beyond the cashier, and we find a wallet on the ground. Well, if I go out of my way to pick up the wallet and then hand it into the cashier, that says something about me. If I pick up the wallet, take out the cash, try to share it with you, that says a different thing about me. But what the point is, behind the scenes is when nobody's looking, but you're giving someone an insight into when nobody's looking, who you really are. So that's behind the scenes. Live illustration is I could use a water bottle to illustrate a point. It's just using an object or people to illustrate a story. Maybe you can't reenact the story, but you use an object to make a connection in someone's mind. Social proof is we're used to social proof with testimonials, but I like to look at social proof visually, right? And it's all about, like, if someone puts their hand on their chest as they're talking to you, that means you're saying something heartfelt. If they're laughing, that means you're a funny person, right? Like there's different things, different visual cues of how our body language responds when we're dealing with people. And so that's social proof. I like to show that what that looks like. Unique mechanism is about your unique characteristics. I'm a person, one of my core values happens to be depth versus width. And so that's why I love doing podcasts. And that's a unique mechanism. I can show the 50 or so podcasts that I've been on visually. I can show the microphone that I'm speaking on visually, right? And then transformation, I've given a story about that already, but it's just like the same story I told. It's not just before and after, it's life after. It's that woman who gets on the plane and does not have to ask for a seatbelt extension ever again. Those are the dramatic demonstrations. And in my opinion, what I believe is that as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you need to show, not just tell your stories, because when you create that dramatic demonstration of proof, people will believe it. And when people believe, they will become raving fans. And so that's why I believe in dramatic demonstration of proof, visual storytelling, and just helping entrepreneurs transform the way they show up in the world.